Hey, Bri, ready? Your intro is now.
So sorry.
All right, you just missed it. I just said all these great things about you. All right, Bri Galarza, our district manager from West Denver. I remember meeting Bri back when she was an assistant manager in Mission Viejo, California. And Bri started in the Western region out of Keena Feldstein's, actually before Keena Feldstein's office, but found her way into the top office in California, and then found her way moving to Colorado 5 years ago. 5 years ago, moved to Colorado, took a chance, and just packed up all her stuff and became a sales manager in the West Denver office. They were one of the top up-and-coming new offices in the company. And then Bri ran 2 branch offices, won multiple company trips, traveled the world for free, opened up her district office in West Denver, and has been one of the top up-and-coming new offices over the past 2 years in the Southwest region. Excited to see this year what West Denver is going to build. I was just commenting today on just the culture and the energy and the talent that's being produced right now in West Denver, and I see the early stages of a very dominant team being produced, and the leadership and the skills and the expertise of Bri Galarza is the reason for West Denver team's dominance. So let's give it up, Bri Galarza.
Woo! Woo. All right. Hello. How's everyone doing in there? Oh, wow. I could see the excitement. One person's just looking at a wall. That's great. I'm just kidding, but you know who you are. So when it comes to me, I've got 3 love languages. Everyone knows this on my team. Number 1, I love Cinnabon. So if people mess up, they know that if they give me a Cinnabon, we're good to go on that. My second love language is liking things on GroupMe's. When people like my stuff, like straight to the heart. And then the third love language is taking a ton of notes. So if you guys can just do me the favor of just being super engaged, even on the computer, if you're looking at me. Just take a ton of notes. It makes me feel really good. And that's the way to my heart. So I'll jump right in. The first thing that I want you guys to jot down is first impressions last.
Oh, I didn't tell them the topic of your message.
Oh, the topic of my message is how to increase your average order and just sell a ton of sets, because we love sets. In West Denver, it's all about sets. Sets in the morning, sets in the evening, in between breaks, just a lot of sets. So first impressions last, though. First impressions last. So what I love most about building rapport, because obviously it's such an important aspect to our business, that we have an entire page. Page 1 is dedicated to building rapport and sharing goals and just getting to know our clients. And when it comes to communication, I know for a fact, one of the coolest books that I'm reading right now, it's called Ways of a Wolf by Jordan Belfort. And he talks about the importance of building rapport and how the key to building rapport is always about moving the customer towards a sale, and in the process, gaining massive intelligence. So I'll say that one more time. The key to building rapport is always about moving the customer towards a sale, and in the process, gaining massive intelligence. And when it comes to communication, 20% of communication is the actual words that are coming out of your mouth. And then the rest of it, the 80% that comes after that, has to do with tonality and your body language. So try to be a little bit more conscious of the way that you are talking to your customers. Are you smiling? If you're nervous, like, are you like serious at her when you're asking her a ton of questions? Are you bubbly? You know, you have manners when you walk in? That's such an important thing. But most importantly, ask a lot of important, smart questions. They're going to lead you to an answer that you're going to need later on. For example, when you're building rapport, you know, it's important to get to know her a little bit, like on her background, what she does for a living, what her husband does for a living, how many kids she has. If she has a ton of kids, that you should feel really good that you're helping her out in a big way, because she can't eat out all the time. So she definitely needs to be using the knives at home to cook a whole lot. So you want to make sure that you are asking her about her cooking habits when you're building rapport. Mrs. Jones, how many times per week do you cook? Who's the cook of the family? Do you guys eat a lot of meats? You want to find out if she's a vegetarian early on, so you're not promoting meats the entire demo, right? So just ask a lot of smart questions about how often she cooks, does she barbecue, is her husband a hunter? Just like build genuine, like, you know, curiosity. Like, hey, Mrs. Jones, like, I don't want this to be like an awkward, like, you know, presentation. Like, I want to get to know you because, you know, who knows, you might feel comfortable enough to buy from me later on in the future just because, you know, I'm still going to be doing this. So you want to build a really genuine kind of, rapport early on. The next thing has to do with sharing goals, right? So we've talked a ton about sharing goals, but new year, new you guys. Pick some good things that get you guys pumped up and excited for 2019 and talk about that. Like, be genuine about that. Like, Mrs. Jones, I'm super excited because I'm one of the top reps in my office. I just hit one promotion. I'm super close to the next one. You'd be surprised how many people get super excited about what you get excited about, right? For example, in my office, I just got a fridge. And I was so excited for my fridge. Like, everyone that is hearing this are like, it's a fridge, Bri. Like, you had a fridge before. Like, no, our office has a fridge. And everyone in my office is like, man, that fridge looks good. Woo, so proud of our fridge because I was so excited about the fridge. A fridge, right? So imagine you guys having actual goals that you guys get pumped up about in front of your client. She's going to want to get tied into that. So figure out what excites you. And all that put together, rapport and sharing goals, shows her that you're committed, driven, motivated, and most importantly, it develops a sense of trust. And that's what you want to develop early on and throughout the entire presentation. Because if you have her trust, she's going to trust that you're an expert, and she's going to trust when you suggest things throughout the entire demo. That's going to help you out when it comes to building value. So I've got 4 powerful keys, powerful tips on selling sets, and then I'm going to wrap up with 6 keys to increase your average order. So the first powerful tip on selling sets is your personal confidence. The first one is your personal confidence. So I want to help everyone understand that for a lot of MAC clients, people that are married, over 30, own a home, they don't think just in hundreds the way that the average high school student thinks. We think that $100 is a decent amount, right? The average high school student. But clients think that $1,000 is pretty average to spend on certain things. They don't think just hundreds, they think in thousands. So we need to understand and put ourselves in their shoes when we're in a demo. So have confidence that when you're talking about $1,000 order, it's not a lot of money, right? So it's a matter of understanding that Mrs. Jones, she dropped thousands of dollars on her bedroom set. She dropped thousands of dollars on fridges, cars, TVs, granite countertops, the iPhone X. She spent $1,000 on a phone, right? So if she can spend $1,000 on a phone, she could easily spend $1,000 on a homemaker set. So have that confidence when you're walking in, because that's why Curtis J. Hughes and Blake Fox sell so much, is because they understand that customers buy thousands. Like, it's no big deal, right? That's why they start off with ultimates and sell that all the time. So when you're walking in there, act like you're Curtis J. Hughes. Have his confidence when you're talking about the prices. Don't be so caught up in your, the price that you're thinking that is a whole lot, because in your shoes it is, but to her, it's not a whole lot of money. So the second key is to use the product yourself. To use the product yourself. Now, back in the day, I didn't use the knives a whole lot. I was relying a lot on just the manual and what a paring knife and what a carving knife is used for. So a customer can tell when you don't use the product. So if you take it upon yourself to just use the knives, even if you're in your office, right? Some of us don't have all the knives, but it's okay to just say, hey, can I borrow this butcher knife and just try it out on some watermelon, and just go to town playing fruit ninja by yourself in the office if you need to. Create some personal third-party stories for your clients, so that way she sees how excited you are about a carving knife or a butcher knife or a petite chef, and then you're going to transfer over that enthusiasm on your demos. So get comfortable with the product yourself and use that confidence. And then the third powerful key is to get good at the demo. Get really good at the demo. So practice it over and over until you basically have it memorized. And if you're not comfortable at the demo quite yet, because I know back in the day when I was new, I wasn't, super comfortable at it, go field training with someone in your office, so that way you can see your assistant manager, a CSP, do the demo in front of you, in front of a live client, and you will get better at the demo just by seeing them do it over and over and over again. So get really good at the demo. And then the last powerful key is to build value in all the sets. Build value in all the pieces. Build value in all the pieces. So customers are used to buying things in sets. Like their mind works in sets for pretty much anything that they buy, right? If they need to get new tires, they get a better value in just buying all 4 tires. When they buy a smartphone, they get all the apps in the smartphone. They don't pick and choose which apps they want. They get the entire package. Toolboxes, golf clubs, silverware, pots and pans, they all come in sets. So it's nothing different when it comes to our knives. So when you walk into each demo thinking that it's normal for her to buy a set because it's a better value, it's discounted, the right tool for the right job, have that confidence when you're talking about each one of the pieces individually. For example, if you really think about the homemaker set, it's a very basic set. She gets a banana knife, a tomato knife, a sandwich knife, a chicken knife, a bacon and sausage knife, a watermelon knife, a carrot knife, and a roast knife, and a bread knife. Like everyone listening to this call, to this meeting could use those. And you're not even like married full time, with kids and stuff. So if you guys can use a homemaker set in all the pieces, Mrs. Jones, who cooks every single day, definitely could easily use every single piece in the homemaker set. She needs the family and the ultimate set if she cooks more than 3 to 4 times a week. Have that confidence that the homemaker set's super basic. Right? When you're talking about all the pieces, oh, Mrs. Jones, this paring knife, I used it earlier on my protein shake on bananas. It's really good for this. Try it out, right? So just have that confidence that it's a very basic set. And most importantly, cut food. Like I had one of my reps that didn't cut food on one of their demos, and I was like, that's so strange. Like when you buy a car, you have to test drive it. When you try on shoes, you got to try them on, walk around the store a couple of times, right? So she needs to try the product before she purchases it, right? So it's okay to ask her for some fruits and vegetables, but most importantly, cut up a lot of things. So yeah, definitely paint the picture just by your names and uses. That definitely sells a lot of sets. And the last 6 quick little tips to increase your average order. First, very important detail that sometimes we forget early on is to write down the investment options on paper. Write down investment options on paper. People are used to purchasing things on payment options. It's natural, right? If you think about buying cable, cable could cost anywhere between $100 to $200 or even more, depending on whatever package that they have per month. They could spend $200 to $300 on cable easily. If you break that up over the entire year, that's over $2,000 on cable, HBO, entertainment. It's normal. Right? So it's normal to put things on payment options, and that's what you want to convey to your client. So when you're talking about the investment options on paper, make it seem like it's no big deal. Like, Mrs. Jones, I'm pretty sure you didn't have $1,500 waiting around for me to come over and show you some knives. So that's why most customers just put it on a 5-month payment plan for no interest for $277. Just like your cable, Mrs. Jones, the same exact thing when it comes to our knives. So just have that confidence when you're talking about the investment options that it's not that big of a deal, but having it written down on paper, she gets it, right? I always have all my guys talk about it on a week-to-week basis. Mrs. Jones, $277, that breaks down to like $67, $68 per week. That's like going to Target, buying a couple things there. But it's just like no big deal. Like, yeah, just going to Target, $277, not that much. So writing things down for the client for every single set that we show or every single option is huge. Next key is to do the nod and smile. The nod and smile. That's my favorite key to teach people during training. Oh, that's how I get deals, discounts. My sales manager gets free food all the time when we go out to eat because she just does the nod and smile. She gets free things at stores too. Like, I don't know how she does that. Just confidence, nod and smile. So when you're talking about the price, I always tell people to do the nod and smile, whether it's the homemaker, down to the galley, down to the starter sets, every single option. Just, hey, Mrs. Jones, it's only going to be this much today. Show her on the sheet of paper. How does that sound? People are laughing. They're like, dang, how come I forgot to do that? You got to do the nod and smile because it's no big deal. So the nod and smile is huge. Why? Because it makes it seem like it's not that big of a deal that she's buying today. If she's interested and she's excited and you do the nod and smile, she's like, wow, that actually kind of looks good, right? But when we're new and we're nervous, we have a tendency to be super scared when we're talking about the homemaker or galley. It's like, it's only $9.19. Do you want to get that today? No, okay, all right, right? And then she's like, oh yeah, definitely, you can't get that today. She looks weird, right? Well, based off of the way that we look. right? You don't want to have that, your customer thinking that it's weird to buy our product. Have confidence, right? So the nod and smile is a big thing. Next tip is to handle her objection with confidence. Handle her objection with confidence. The knee-jerk reactions page is such an important page. And when we handle her objection with confidence and we don't drop down too quickly, it gives her a second chance to kind of reconsider what you just said. So that's why when we incorporate the knee-jerk reaction and we ask again, believe it or not, we actually sometimes get a yes on the second time when we reiterate the 5-month option. And my next key is to, my favorite one. Next key is to check in for deals. Check in for deals. All of my guys in my office, the reason why they get off to such a fast start is because they always call me every single demo. They call me before the demo starts to check in. I'll give them a quick little pep talk. Next, they call me during the demo at least one time when they're showing one of the set options. And then they call me after to let me know how it went. Before, during, and after. Such an important key, because during the demo, it shows the customer that you're fighting for her to get the best deal possible. You're like, Mrs. Jones, Cutco is so friggin' good that I'm sorry, like I don't want you to pay just $12.73. Let me check in with my manager and see what I can do for you here today, because I'm sure we have some sort of deal or discount. And just call your manager right then and there. Now at this point, she's like, oh my God, yeah, go ahead and check in. I'd rather get it on a deal anyway, right? So now she feels good that you're going out of your way to call your manager and getting her the best deal possible. Even not just for the homemaker set, even for the galley set, she feels good. For the starter set, she feels good. Even for the pieces, she feels good, right? She's like, oh my gosh, you can get me a buy 3, get 1 free today? Oh, you're so sweet, Rose. Thank you for that. Like, I appreciate it, right? And it closes the deal for the client. It helps her make the decision today versus later. And it's not like a weird, awkward check-in. You're excited, like, oh my gosh, Mrs. Jones, actually, now that I think about it, for this studio set, I think we might have a discount on it. And just now that I'm thinking about it, let me go ahead and call my manager, Destiny, really quick, and let me see if I can get you the best deal possible, because I love you. So I want to get you the best deal here. Hey, do we have any discounts on this set, right? So just check in, and then at that point, she's like, oh gosh, I got to get it today because it's such a good deal. And it is. And then second to last key, oh, this is another good one. Second to last key is to sell her off the set onto the next set. Sell her off the set onto the next set. So one of my favorite transitions for the homemaker to the galley set, to get her super excited about the galley set, is I ask her 2 questions at the homemaker set right before I show her the galley set. I say, hey, Mrs. Jones, do you carve turkeys every single day? She goes, no. Oh, okay. Mrs. Jones, do you cut through like frozen foods every single day and stuff like that? No. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, Mrs. Jones. I've got like the perfect set for you. It's called our galley set, because it actually takes off those 3 pieces. You're going to love it so much better. Here, let me show you the next best set, which is our galley set. And then you just get extra excited about the galley set at that point. So the 2 questions are, do you carve turkeys every single day? No? Okay. Do you cut through frozen foods every single day? Oh, you don't? Okay. Let me show you the next best set. Like, I'm so pumped for you. It's called our galley set. And then you just show her the next set. After the galley set, when you're showing her the starter sets, it's like, oh, Mrs. Jones, let me show you the next best sets. These are called the starter sets, and they're called starter sets because everyone starts off with these and just builds up over time. That's why they're called starter sets, right? And she feels good about the starter sets. Okay, I could start off with a starter set here today. That's cool, right? And now you're getting her excited about the next best sets. And then the last key is to stress the 15-day trial. Stress the 15-day trial. By stressing the 15-day trial, you're helping her understand that it's not a final call right then and there, right? You're stressing the importance of trying it out for 3 weeks in her home before she makes that final decision. If she hates it, she could always send it back and get a full refund, right? I've closed so many sets, homemakers, galley starter sets, just because she feels better about the fact that it's just the 5th payment here today, Mrs. Jones. If you hate it, just send it back. You'll get a full refund. But most customers, they just love it so much, they just continue using it and they just finish off the rest of the payments afterwards. But that just kind of seals the deal for her that it's not that big of a deal. She doesn't have to pay for it all up at once, and she's able to just kind of ease her way into it. But of course, after trying it out and playing with it, she loves it. So stress the 15-day trial when you're closing some deals. So the last quote that I'll leave you with is, a sale is made on every single demo. She's either going to sell you on why she can't afford Cutco today, or you can sell her on why she will afford Cutco today. And that's all I got for you guys. Thank you.
My job as a division manager gets easier and easier every year because my people get more and more talented. So I just make agendas now. That was unbelievable. And I love, I talked about before, the objective is personal, professional, and financial growth for every person or organization. And I love seeing new reps grow into, elevated positions, but I also love seeing our veterans just make that next step in their career. And, watching Bri go from college student to absolute professional, badass district manager, it makes me proud to see the development of our team. And what makes me excited is that, I'm looking at a lot of faces, on the screen and in front of me of, who's going to be the next Bri, who's going to be the next Corey, who's going to be the next Curtis Jacques, because we've got a whole meeting full of the next wave right here. So it just makes me fired up, and I'm excited about where we're at as a division.